So this is how my voice will sound like when it's transmitted over a network and everyone else in the scene can actually hear me. In this video, I'm going to show you how to enable players connected to the same room communicate with each other over the network. Also, just before I start, I'd like to say that this video is a follow-up to my last video. So if you haven't watched it, go ahead and then come back. Anyway, how this voice chat is going to work is that when someone joins the room with you and you're both in the same scene, your characters will have audio sources which will play whatever you say on the microphone. Of course, with push to talk, which you can easily disable if you want. I will use Photon as I'm already using it to connect the players. Now, to start, I'll import a package called Photon Voice. And while it's importing, I will go ahead and go to this Photon engine website in which you can create a new app which you can on the Photon type put it as Photon Voice, name it whatever you want, whatever your games code or your company, I don't know, whatever you want. So and then click create. You don't have to put description or URL. When that's done, you should see your app with the same name you put, and then below it an app ID which you have to copy, because when you go to Unity you will now be able to go to Photon Unity networking, highlight server settings, and in here, if you have successfully imported the voice package, you'll see an app ID voice where you can place your app ID for your voice app application. Now that that's done, we have set up the connection from Unity to the Photon engine, and now we need to take it to actually make our players be able to use it. So firstly, let's place a Photon voice view, then a speaker, then a recorder, and on the Photon voice view assign the speaker and the recorder, and enable the setup debug speaker. Now here on the audio source you can actually set the spatial blend. What this is if it's set on 2D, wherever the audio source is, you will hear it as if it's right in front of you. But if it's on the 3D side, well then if the audio source is far away or behind a rock or something, you hear it as if it's there. Or if it's to your right, you hear it as if it's on your right. So if you're creating a game that has a voice chat that is about players being together and walking together, well then you can set it to 3D. But if it's like something FPS, well then place it to 2D. So I'll use it as 2D. On the speaker you don't have to change anything. On the recorder, this is the transmit. This will say if what you're saying on your microphone you want to transmit it to everyone. Now this is false at the start because you don't want to communicate when the game begins, but if you want you can just enable it. The debug echo is also something great which you can use if you want to hear your own voice and see what is being transmitted, because when you turn this on you don't just hear with your microphone, but you hear what is being transmitted. Now when you've done all this, let's create a new script which we can call push to talk. If you don't want push to talk, you can just skip this step and enable transmit. But if you do want, continue watching. is I'm going to show you how. In this script, let's use the photon dot pun. Oh, oops. Then use the photon dot real time. After that, use photon dot voice dot unity, and then lastly use photon dot voice dot pun. Then let's on the mono behavior change it to mono behavior pun, and here let's say public key code push button, is this will say what button we want to push whenever we want to talk, which I'll set it as default to P. Then another public recorder, this time a recorder, which will call the voice recorder. This we'll use to enable and disable the transmit. Then lastly, a private photon view to see if the game object we are playing as is actually ours. View. On the start, let's get the view component, the view. After that, we can set the voice recorder automatically to be set to false, the transmit, so that when we join we don't begin hearing ourselves. And now the start function is done. Let's go to the update, and if input dot get key down, so this is when we press on the push button. Let's then see if this game object is actually ours. Here is mine. Voice recorder dot transmit enable equals to true. Yeah, so if actually, or let's say else if, so let's delete this. Input dot get key up, this is if we stop pressing the P button, then we want to push button, then we want to stop the transmitting, so voice recorder dot transmit enable equals to false. And yeah, that's, oh sorry, I forgot, if view dot is mine. And yeah, that's the whole script. Now if we run actually the game, whoa, what's happening? Wait, what? I'm not even playing. Okay. Wait, some things has gone horribly wrong. Oh. Whoa. Let's get another speaker then. Then put it onto the speaker, assign it to the speaker in use, and then assign the recorder to the voice recorder, and then let's test it. Now we shouldn't get any errors. Nice. And if we go ahead and see in here, if I begin speaking, there you go, transmit is enabled whenever I press P. If I go ahead and turn on debug echo, I should mute audio. I should hear myself. So that's great. And now what we can do is just press and build and run the game, so we can see if the clients can hear us. So let's build it. Okay, nice. Now another client, connect and connect. Okay, there is the other guy. They are synced, and if I say something, and whenever I press P, it transmits, but when I don't press P, it doesn't. So we just proved it's working, and it's just awesome. So this was basically it. If you have any suggestions, comments, or problems, put them in the comment section. I'll try to answer as many as I can. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, like and subscribe. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.